All right, good evening, everyone. We're going to resume the meeting now. Okay, at this time, I would like to call on Councillor Olson to read the land acknowledgement statement.
On treaty land. This land is steeped in the rich history of the First Nations, such as the Haudenosaunee, the Haudenosaunee, and the Anishinaabe, including the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. There are many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit from across Turtle Island that live and work in Niagara today. The regional municipality of Niagara stands with all Indigenous people, past and present, in promoting the wise stewardship of the lands on which we live. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Olson. All right, if you are able, please stand for the national anthem.
Didn't expect it.
Didn't screw it up, that's good.
Okay, to start off, are there any additions to the agenda this evening? Okay, seeing none. So are there any changes to the order of the agenda this evening? All right, so with that then, I will need a mover and seconder to adopt the agenda. Councillor Greenwood, Councillor Badway, thank you. With that, please vote electronically. Good? Yep. Oh, there it is. Okay, so that's carried. So then there are no presentations this evening. Oh, I apologize. I missed the disclosures of pecuniary interest. Are there any disclosures of pecuniary interest? All right, seeing none. Okay, then once again, there are no presentations this evening. So I'm going to start off with the chair's reports. So good evening, everyone. Before we begin tonight, I want to say what an honor it is to be sitting here in this chair. Coming from Wainfleet, I never imagined that one day I would serve as the acting Niagara Regional Chair. And I believe, to the best of my knowledge, that I'm the first mayor of Wainfleet to ever do so. For a small rural community like ours, that means something. It speaks to what Niagara is all about. Every community matters, whether you're a large city, a small town, or somewhere in between. Growing up in Wainfleet, you learn pretty quick the value of your neighbors and helping neighbors. You learn that communities are built by people who show up, pitch in, and work together when it counts. Over the past few weeks, I've had the chance to see a lot of that spirit across Niagara. On May 1st, we raised the flag for the Niagara Children's Center, recognizing the incredible support they provide to children and families throughout the region. On May 7th, I joined the Minister of Infrastructure, Niagara West MPP Sam Osterhoff, local mayors, Deputy Mayor Bill Phillips, and Councillor Wayne Olson for a major wastewater funding announcement. It may not be glamorous work, but infrastructure is still the backbone of a growing region. If we want homes built and communities thriving, these investments definitely matter. On May 11th, Mayor Sisko and I recognized the Ridley College senior boys basketball team for their championship season, a proud moment celebrating teamwork, discipline, and leadership from Niagara's next generation. On May 19th, we marked Paramedic Services Week with a flag raising to recognize the dedication of Niagara EMS staff who serve our communities with professionalism and compassion each and every single day. May 20th, we brought two important events, Agricultural Days at Niagara College alongside Ron Tripp, George Spezza, Marco Marino, and the grand opening of Thorold's municipal nonprofit housing project with Mayor Ugolini, Councillor Whalen, and Councillor Badaway. As somebody from Waynfleet, agriculture will always be close to my heart. Farming helped build this region, and it remains a vital part of Niagara's identity and its economy. When it comes to housing, we know families across Niagara are feeling the pressure. Projects like the one in Thorold show what's possible when communities work together with focus and determination. On May 21st, I attended the ribbon cutting for Pleasant Manor Long-Term Care Home alongside Minister Kasindova Bashta, MP Baldolini, MPP Gates, and Mayor Zalepa. Investments like this ensure our seniors across Niagara can receive quality care with dignity and respect. And finally, on May 22nd, Niagara hosted the Niagara Funders Forum with representatives from several provincial ministries, helping position our region for future investment and opportunity. Looking back on all these events, one thing stands out. Niagara works best when people work together. Whether it's local councils, staff, community organizations, first responders, farmers, volunteers, or residents, progress happens when people pull in the same direction. Municipal government isn't always flashy. Most days it's roads, pipes, housings, budgets, and solving practical problems. But the work we do here matters deeply because it affects people's everyday lives. Before I close, I'd also like to take a moment just to thank Chief of Staff Nick Colosimo and Executive Administrative Assistant Jamie Jones for their tireless work throughout what has been some challenging times. They have kept this chair's office running smoothly and providing steady support, sound advice, and expert counsel throughout. So once again, thank you, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure to work with you this month. So their professionalism and dedication deserve recognition, and once again, I sincerely thank them for everything that they continue to do. As we head into summer, I encourage everyone to support local businesses, attend community events, visit our markets and main streets, and enjoy everything Niagara has to offer. At the end of the day, this region is defined by its people, hardworking, caring, resilient people, and the Niagara is stronger because of them. So thank you, and that is the end of my report. Make their mess go away. All right, so there are no delegations this evening. So, Councillor Redicott, would you move that the motion to adopt the minutes from the meeting on April 30th? And Councillor Ugolini, can you second the motion? Thank you.
Be happy to.
Thank you. All right, any discussion? Councillor Whalen? No. It's all right. We'll let it slide. All right. So with that, then we'll vote electronically, please. All right. So that is carried. So moving on, there's no correspondence items this evening. There are no items for consideration, so we'll move into committee reports. Councillor Woodavine, will you move? Oh, is Councillor Woodavine online? Yes. Okay. Councillor Woodavine, will you move the motion? And Councillor Encina, will you second the motion?
Yes, I will, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? Okay. Seeing none, then I'll ask all councillors to vote electronically. Oh, yeah? Oh. So that's carried? All right. All right, so that's carried. Okay, so moving on to the next one. Councillor Kiokio, will you move the motion? And Councillor Morocco, can you second the motion?
Yes, I will.
I'll move it, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. All right, any discussion? Councillor Zeppela.
Thanks, Chair. I just wanted to see if I could lift item PhD 5.
Of course.
I just had a question, really, through you, perhaps, to the staff. I just wondered if, with regards to this, did the committee at our level at the region have any consultation or dialogue with the, I guess it'd be the winemakers in Ontario, or the growers, or any groups like that before we were looking at this?
I'll refer to Dr. McGinney.
Thank you.
Through you, Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you for that question. I'm unaware of any consultations that may have occurred in the past month within writing time of this particular document. We're simply asking for endorsement of a statement that was made by the Chief Medical Officers of Health, which is all of the chief MOHs of all the provinces and territories around labeling. So it's more about information delivery to the public than anything else. Thank you.
Then just thank you for that. And just further to that, though, I'd like to understand if I guess in support of this, if something were going forward, what would the process look like to involve the industry in that conversation, or how would that happen, and would that happen? I just want to understand that a bit better.
Thank you, through you, Chair. So my understanding is that this is a federal process, and it's sitting with the Standing Senate Committee. If the bill is passed, I would assume that the federal government would undertake any particular consultations if they have not already undertaken any consultations with the industry.
All right. If you could just call it separately when you're voting on it. Thanks.
All right, any other speakers?
So we're going to vote on.
All right, so with that, then we're going to vote with just what's on the screen. All councillors, you can vote electronically. That should be carried anyways. It'll show me anyway. All right, and that is carried. So now we'll vote on the remainder of the minutes. All right, so once again, that is carried. So we're going to move into Corporate Services Committee. Councillor Foster, will you move the motion for both the open and closed session minutes?
I will, thank you.
Thank you. And Councillor Whalen, will you second the
So
motion?
moved, Chair.
Thank you. Any discussion? Councillor Olson?
Yes, thank you, Chair. During the meeting I was requesting, I suggested that we should keep track of the amount of savings that would come from amalgamation, and I suggested that we establish a baseline using a system called MIDAS. And at that time, it was suggested that I have a meeting with Mr. Ellis and Ms. Bren to talk about that, and they have offered an alternative way of keeping track as a scorecard of how we manage to address the issue of affordability. So that I would like to highlight that, because I think it's important to measure these things, because you can't manage things that you can't measure. So that's what the purpose of it was. And Mr. Ellis would like to expand upon that, or Ms. Bren. I think it was a very useful suggestion that they offered to me. In a fine restaurant in Pelham as well. So I should mention that too.
Ms. Brenz, would you like to take a stab at it?
Through the chair. Yes, it was a very fine breakfast. So I think as a starting point, you will see on Weekly Blast, hopefully next Friday, just an overview of what the MIDAS system is, and the data really that's captured is just another way of slicing and dicing financial information returns that we all have to file with the province each year. And as a starting point to look at the combined revenue and the combined expenditures of all 12 local area municipalities plus the region. And we'll do that with the most recent information available. So I think that that is a bit of a baseline as far as, you know, how much expenditures and revenues do we have as a combined unit. And then as far as a scorecard on how we address affordability, that might require some further conversations, but hopefully the memo is a good first step in our journey.
Councillor Olson?
Thank you, Chair. That's satisfactory to me. Thank you.
All right, I'll now go to Councillor Bateman.
Thank you, Chair. Just a follow-up from some questions I had at Corporate Services that I wasn't able to get answers for. I did speak with the Chief of Staff in the Chair's office just before the meeting, but just to have it on record, could we get a little information about Niagara Week? Whatever information we have, if it's happening, if it's not happening, or we're unsure, just like to hear.
All right, Mr. Colosimo?
Thank you, through the chair. Thank you, Councillor Bateman. We are, given the parliamentary calendar and it being an election year, we are believing it is prudent to have Niagara Week in the spring of 2027 to just ensure a more fulsome, effective experience for all those involved.
Perfect. Thank you very much for the answer. And we spoke previously, I think it was Councillor Zalepa had a question about the municipal accommodation tax. Sorry, Chair, this is specific to the CAO's report, item 6.2. And I know, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm happy to hear from members of Niagara on the Lake, but they collect the municipal accommodation tax, and I think it's around 2.5 million. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get the numbers from St. Catharines, but we collect that as well. I know other municipalities do. And I'm just wondering what other mechanisms we have to collect tax, given all the changes and all the downloading from the province. Because we cannot collect that tax, is that correct?
Yeah. Thank you for the question, Councillor Bateman. You are correct. We're not able to collect that the accommodation tax. I think from the line of your questioning, right now we're not aware of any other tax revenues that we can engage in. However, you know, Director Brands and I have had some conversations about making sure that we're getting our ears to the ground to make sure that any other revenue streams that are available to the region will be explored.
Thank you. So is that something that the CAOs will be discussing in their meetings collectively through you, Chair?
Through you, Chair, I don't know if I could answer that one. I'm not a party to the CAO meetings. So, I know they have a number of topics that they're breaking into working groups on, but I'm not aware of whether or not they're coming back with a new tax plan.
Thank you. You know, obviously the reason I'm asking is because there's a lot of challenges going on with the province and there continues to be downloading. And through you, Chair, we did have a motion to ask about downloading. And again, Commissioner Ellis did speak with me about that prior to the meeting, but just so it's on record, when will we be getting that information or expected potentially?
Through you, Chair, thank you for the question, Councillor Bateman. As I mentioned to you, and for all council's information, we were hoping to get it for June, but the work that we're underway, we don't think we're going to make that cycle, so we're hoping to make July.
Okay, thank you. And I have one more question, Chair. This is it was to be under other business, but our social procurement policy, the dates, it doesn't look like we're going to get it in this term of council either. And I'm just wondering if we could speak to the delay, because as far as I understand, it was approved by the previous council.
Through the chair, thank you for the question, Councillor Bateman. So I'll speak to my time here because I don't have a full history beyond that. The reason why it was not set in motion immediately upon me arriving, it was really around trying to get the procurement bylaw completed, and then we could turn our focus towards the social procurement. So that is why it got sequenced that way.
Thank you. So the next term of council will be dealing with the finalization we expect. Okay, no other questions. Thank you, Chair.
It's an interesting ringtone, Counselor. All right, if there are no other speakers, the motion's on the screen, so I'll ask everyone to vote electronically. All right, so that is carried. We're going to move on to Planning and Economic Development Committee. Councillor Seaborn, can you move the motion? And Councillor Kaiser, sorry, will you second the motion?
I will.
Yes, thank you.
Perfect, thank you. All right, any discussion? No? Okay. All right, if there's no discussion, everyone sees the motion on the screen, please vote electronically. All right, so that is carried. Okay, so we're going to move into Audit Committee. So Councillor Whaling, can you move the motion? And Councillor Olson, will you second the motion?
So moved, Chair.
All right, once again, any discussion? Councillor Olson, you may begin.
Question is with respect to the consolidated financial statements and our investment income. It appears that our investment income has increased quite a bit. And after we had our conversations during the budget process, we added back income of about $1 million, I think, to the budget. And I just wondered if that was a wise thing to do under the circumstances. And it appears to me like that some of those things have that's going to be a hard spot in our budget is the investment income. And I just want to confirm that, my understanding of that with Ms. Brent, please.
All right, Ms. Brent, please.
Through the chair. Just to confirm the question, Councillor, are you looking for verification that we will be able to attain the additional $1 million in investment income that we put in the 2026 budget?
Through your chair, yes, that would be the first thing, and then some kind of a forecast for the year, what's going to develop in the year, and probably an explanation of how we're managing to get the extra income.
Yeah, through the chair, we have budgeted for a portfolio return rate of 3.5%. We are trending very closely to that, and we will be planning to do an update at Q2 in regards to our investment reporting. Some of the tools that we leverage as part of the 2026 budget was principal protected notes. We just had another presentation on those yesterday, so that is something that we're looking at. Its ability to have a very stable investment. It's secured, principal protected, with a tie to the market. So the markets are doing well, and so we're able to pick up some additional investment income. So I do hope to have a rosy story on that on year end, and we'll start telling that story at Q2.
Thank you, Chair. That's $900 million worth of assets that we have there, and we need to get the best we can from that. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So I see no other speakers on the list, so please once again vote electronically. I'm not jinxing. All right, so that is carried. So there are no chief administrative officer reports. There are no motions. Are there any notices of motion this evening? Seeing none. Okay, we'll move into the closed session. Do any members of council wish to go into closed session to discuss item confidential report PDS 11/2026? Okay, no. All right. Then we are going to go to business arising from closed session. So Councillor Seaborn, can you move the motion? And Councillor Morocco, will you second the motion?
I will.
Thank you both. All right, any discussion? Okay, seeing nobody on the list, then please vote electronically. I'm not getting too excited, but. All right, so once again, that is carried. Okay, so we're going to move right into bylaws. So Councillor Easton, will you move the bylaws? And Councillor Secord, can you second the motion? Thank you. Any discussion? All right, once again, seeing no speakers, I will ask everyone to vote electronically. This is going to be the... All right, so that is carried. Are there any items of other business this evening? Councillor Bateman, go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to offer some gratitude to council and just give everybody an update. I believe Councillor Houston was the first one to bring information forward on a bill that is now called Bill 9. There's been several reiterations of it, and it just passed in the legislature, and that is holding councillors responsible for workplace violence and harassment. And I'm so pleased to tell you that it's nonpartisan, it passed, and now it will be part of our political system, and I believe that we are all very much better for it. So a real quick short history on this, Chair. I was working at a women's shelter advocating for Bill 168, which was the Workplace Violence and Harassment Act. And back in 2008 and 2009, we knew that there was a gap, that elected officials were not included in this legislation. And it's taken a very long time, 16, 17 years, and that gap is now closed. And I believe this is shared success for everybody at this council. So once more, I just want to thank everybody who lent their voice to this, including those who were critical of it, because we needed really good legislation. So thank you for your time, Chair. I appreciate you all.
Thank you, Councillor. Any other members of council have any other items of other business? Oh, Councillor Villela, go ahead.
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can. Oh,
Okay, good. And this is probably not the place to say it, but I just want to apologize that my video wasn't working tonight. So I am here and I have been listening. So I do want to apologize.
thank you, Councillor Villela. Councillor Rigby.
Mr. Chair, and in another weekend, not this coming weekend, the following weekend is the Canadian Secondary School Rowing Championship, which is being held in, as usual, in St. Catharines. And it's open to all of the Canadian crews that are across the country that are there, plus the United States as well. So that's coming up, not this weekend, the following weekend. It's bound to see a lot of young people that are really something incredible to watch. And you're all welcome. You don't even have to pay, except for unless you see me, and then you'll have to pay. But it's worthwhile going if you have an opportunity. It starts on Friday, Saturday, and finishes on Sunday of that weekend. So this is my last chance to be able to say that this year. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Rigby. I'll go to Councilor Greenwood.
Really quick. If anybody has an opportunity and they don't know what to do on the 6th of June, which is D-Day, by the way, the Air Cadet Squadron in Fort Erie has their annual inspection, and they call it an annual review now. But if you want to see some excellent kids on parade, I invite you to join this, because I'll be there, Tom will be there, and my husband will be there as well, and Anne-Marie, maybe. Anyway, it's a wonderful exercise to watch these kids. They're just fantastic. And the Battle of Britain Award will be presented to the cadet that has won that award. Thank you.
Niagara Light Cadets of June 8th.
I will just remind everyone as well, please visit Councilor Greenwood's, but the 87th Eagle Squadron in Welland is also this weekend on Saturday. So I'll be attending that one. All right, if there is no other business, there being no further business, this meeting is now adjourned. Thanks for making it easy on me this time.